25 years since the devastating crash of Flight 255, and the questions remain.
What would they be like today? Where would they be living? Would they still be travel agents? How many children would they be having?
Tony Zanger lost his 23-year-old brother Michael and Michael's fiancée, Hollins Langton, who was 26. The couple were from Monroe, but had been living in Arizona and were back home for Hollins' bridal shower. A ring Hollins gave to Michael was found in the wreckage, and Tony wears it to this day. He'll never forget hearing about the crash on the news.
The Northwest plane with a direct flight to Phoenix, Arizona, had crashed at Detroit's Metro Airport, and I panicked.
This is her senior picture that she never got to see, because they were sent after her death.
Marianne Ratliff lost her only child in the crash, 16-year-old Heidi J. Marianne says she was a little dynamo, an old soul. The teen had been in Ohio visiting her dad. This was the last picture she took before heading back to California. She was buried with her cheerleading uniform.
I always kind of equated it like kind of losing your right arm. You get used to functioning without it, but you're always going to miss it.
In Erie, Pennsylvania, the Hoffman family had just said goodbye to Christine Hoffman, a lieutenant in the Army who had been home celebrating family birthdays. The world traveler and daredevil had a particularly hard time leaving for the airport.
She was not afraid of anything, and that night was the only night in all of her travels and anywhere she's ever gone that she was literally in crushing tears. Just absolutely would not come out of the house. We were sitting in the car waiting for her.
Hoffman's sister Aimee and her dad Thomas say when Christine finally came outside, there was another rare occurrence.
And then we took pictures in the driveway, which we never did, family pictures, and a couple hours later she was gone.
Up in Roscommon, Sue Moy would learn that her 28-year-old sister Laura Thorell, Laura's husband Larry, and the couple's 1-year-old daughter Krista would not survive. The young family was just starting to build a life together.
They just bought a new house. They didn't even have the boxes unpacked, so they were in their new house for 6 weeks.
Over the course of the last 25 years, Sue, a school teacher, would use the apparent pilot's mistakes and what she learned about life from the crash to pass on to her students.
And I tell my kids that if you're going to do something, do your best, because someone else at the other end may be harmed, and appreciate life, and you may not be here tomorrow.
In Romulus, Michael Rosenfield, 7 Action News.
And our coverage of today's somber anniversary continues this evening as well.
Yeah, so many stories. On Action News at 5 and 6, Michael Rosenfield speaks with the ambulance dispatcher on duty the night of the crash. We're also going to meet the firefighter who found the lone survivor in the wreckage. Families will never forget that night, and neither will the first responders who were there moments after that plane went down.
Looking down the street, stepping on, unfortunately, some body parts, whatever, and, just trying to look to see if we could, find somebody else to help save. And unfortunately, I mean, there was only the miracle child, and that's it.
Also tonight, Action News will be live from the memorial near the crash site where people will be gathering to honor the victims.
And in recognition of the 25th anniversary of Flight 255, we have created an in-depth web page on WXYZ.com that includes archived video of the crash and the trailer for the documentary called Sole Survivor of the little girl, Cecilia Sheehan, the only survivor of the crash. You can also leave your thoughts on that terrible day on WXYZ.com.